You're listening to Main Character Manifesto, where we talk mindset, self-identity, and stepping into your power. I am your host, Ceci, your go-to life coach for real talk and major glow-ups. This is your space to get inspired, get honest, and get moving toward the life you know you're meant to live. Let's get into it.
Who's that girl? That's me. I'm on fire. I'm a hot girl. I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want. This is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal.
Let's do this. Hello. How are you all doing? Let me just say I appreciate all of the comments and the reviews and the feedback that I've been getting. I truly appreciate when you guys take a moment out of your busy lives and you leave me a little review or a comment or something that you've been enjoying about the podcast. It truly makes my day every time I get a notification. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. So a few episodes ago, I talked about a new direction that I was taking. I said, I have found my niche. I will tell you soon. And the time has come. I'm so excited. So here we go. This new direction that I'm going feels so natural and authentic to who I am. If you follow me on Instagram, you know. And if you don't, come and follow me. I am at Cecilia_Navarro. Come over to the party. We have a good time. So I post a lot of health and fitness content, mostly on my stories, because health and fitness is a huge part of my life, and it's super important for me to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I have learned over the years what that looks like for me. It used to be a toxic cycle of depriving myself of food, overworking out, too much cardio, not enough weights, not enough food, not enough carbs, because really what I wanted to look like was skinny. I have always been a very curvy girl, and all I wanted to do was erase whatever made me different, and that was my curvy body. So I was doing things that felt super unnatural, and really they were just a very unhealthy lifestyle that was completely unattainable, and it wasn't a realistic way to live. I now understand that what was going on was I was having such low self-worth. I had low confidence. I did not think highly of myself. I did not think I was lovable or beautiful. I didn't even realize that I didn't think I was lovable, which is the crazy part. I felt like if I looked like everybody else, then I would be accepted. I think that stemmed from me moving here from Mexico, not knowing the language, feeling different, and wanting to assimilate and be like everybody else. I really feel like that's the core of where I felt like I wasn't enough because I didn't fit in. I think when I look back at my life, and I've done a lot of journaling about where my food memories were, because I've always felt like I had this really love-hate relationship with food. I love cooking. I love food. I love coming up with new ideas, but I also hated food because it made me fat and it made me not fit in and look like everybody else. And my earliest memory of food was when we first moved here. My dad worked for a bakery, Boudin Bakery. He also worked for Parisian and Colombo. Ugh, that bread, that crusty, delicious Parisian French bread. Ugh, chef's kiss. So those were my early memories. He would come home with huge boxes of croissants and baguettes, and it was so good. And I just remember eating it and feeling good. So when I look back at those moments and I plug into those emotions, when I was eating those delicious pieces of bread, I was forgetting that I was different. I was forgetting that I didn't know how to speak the language. I was essentially putting a Band-Aid and self-soothing with food. I believe that's where my trauma and my toxic relationship with food started. And it has been pretty much my whole life. I was 8 at the time. So can you imagine? Like, pretty much my whole life, I've had this toxic relationship of deprivation and overeating and overworking out. I mean, it's exhausting. Is it? It's so exhausting. All the diets, the cabbage soup diet. Oh my God. I did this one diet before my cousin's wedding. It was an all protein diet. I forget the name of it now, but you basically just ate protein. You did not eat vegetables. You did not eat any fiber. It was all protein. And I did great. I lost a ton of weight. I was super strict. I was so angry all the time. My poor mom. Mom, I'm sorry. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm sure I was mean to you too. But when I'm on a diet, I'm sure other people are like this too, but I get so moody because we're hungry, we're tired, we're not getting the true nutrients that we need. Our body needs nutrients, our body needs fiber so that our digestion can work properly. Our body needs all of the vitamins from vegetables and from protein. Even if you're a vegan, you still need all of these vitamins from the different food groups, right? And I remember that diet was horrible. At some point right before the wedding, I got so backed up. TMI, I'm sorry, but I could not go to the bathroom. And I was so bloated that I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. And I was so upset because I'm like, damn it. I've worked so damn hard for this wedding. I have this beautiful red dress. I've lost weight. I look great. And now I'm so bloated. I'm going to look like I'm pregnant. Like, what's going on? Luckily, it all worked out. Your girl started eating fiber. The body started moving. Things were looking good. But then, slowly but surely, I started to gain some of that weight back. And the reason is because that wasn't a sustainable way of living. This constant going on a diet and then like going back to regular eating and then working out for 3 months and then not. And then it's like going back on these cycles that were so toxic and not sleeping, going to bed late, not having a routine, all of these things. I was so unhealthy. And in my mind, I thought I was being so healthy because I was working out 7 days a week. I was working out, sometimes doing cardio as well, twice a day. It was so excessive. My body was truly in like this fight or flight mode. It must have been like, bitch, what are you doing to me? I need to rest. I need nutrients. I need you to sleep. What are you doing? Anyways, even through my life coaching journey, when I started my certification training and I started doing all the work and then doing my own personal development, doing therapy, hiring a coach, and working with a coach myself to figure out what were these blockages that I was having. I was procrastinating. I didn't have clarity. I couldn't stick to my workout routine. I couldn't stick to my health and fitness plan. I just couldn't stick to it. I was working so hard and it just like things were not clicking. I did not understand how people would all of a sudden it would click and then they would lose all this weight and then all of a sudden they were fit and they had like visible muscles and I just couldn't figure out how they figured it out and why it wouldn't click for me. I didn't understand that at the bottom of all of this, at the very core, was my relationship with food. But even deeper than that was my relationship with myself and how I viewed myself, how I talked to myself, how I showed up for myself, how much I loved myself. I truly have always been showing up for everybody else, but myself in that way, emotionally, mentally. I cheer other people on, but it was super hard for me to cheer myself on. And I've had this conversation with some friends where I've asked them, like, when was the last time that you were proud of yourself? And they were like, I don't even know. I honestly can't even say that I'm proud of myself. And this is a super accomplished woman. I mean, she's a badass. She's a business owner. So she understands that there does need to be this conversation with herself that she needs to work through. But I realized my light bulb and aha moment was, damn, I keep having these relationships with men. If you didn't know and you're a new listener, I went through a divorce in 2014 and I've been single since then. I have dated but I always felt like I was finding the same type of person. My good friend Sonia said to me, Ceci, you're literally dating the same person in a different body, non-committal, avoidant, emotionally unavailable. They would love bomb me and then all of a sudden they would disappear. And I'd be like, damn, you are so right. You're so right. And I couldn't figure out. I was like, what the hell? What is it? Why are these men not committing to me? Why am I not sticking to my fitness goals? I was able to get all of my career goals accomplished. I went to school, I have multiple degrees, I have certifications, but I could not figure out these other two portions of my life. And even my finances. I feel like I've made really good money over the years, but it always felt like something was missing, something was not clicking. What is it? And that moment, that beautiful moment when I realized that it was me. You know that song, It's Not You, It's Me. What is it, Taylor Swift? Yeah. I realized it was me. I was the one that wasn't showing up for myself. So those relationships that were not working out was because my boundaries were blurred. I was not clear on what I wanted. I made myself too available and I didn't require anything of them because I didn't require anything of me. I didn't realize that I needed to start setting boundaries so that I could start keeping them to myself and I can start building confidence with myself. And then I could start seeing some movement and some changes and everything else would follow. So here I am. I figured out, all right, so in order for somebody else to love me, I need to love myself first. I need to show up for myself. I need to become that person. I mean, how many times for my single girlies? And actually, this is wonderful for those of you who are married. I swear, this is actually going to transform your relationship, your marriage. So listen up, ladies, listen up. When you think about your partner and who you want them to be, even if you're already married and you're like, yeah, I love my partner, but I would love for him to be this and this and this and this. Ask yourself first, are you that person already? Are you setting boundaries that you're keeping? How are you showing up for yourself? Are you eating healthy? Are you working out? Are you logging off work when you need to? Are you being present in the moment with yourself and with your partner? If you're asking all of these things of your partner and they're not doing it, it's probably because you're not setting the example and it's showing them the boundaries that you need to do it first. So you know what they say, you need to lead by example. Don't nag people, just show them. It's all about actions, not words. Actions over words, any day. when I realized that in order to attract the person that I wanted into my life, in order to attract the health that I wanted into my life, the finances that I wanted into my life, I needed to become that person that is able to keep them. So what does that mean? That means setting realistic goals, setting realistic expectations of what my health and fitness should look like. So I hired a coach, I hired a therapist, I worked on my blockages, I worked on those feelings of not feeling good enough. And I really did a ton of journaling. I hate journaling, but I also love journaling because once I get going, it's so good. It just kind of flows. I was actually pulling all of my journals and I love looking through them. So that's one of the things that I really want to start doing again is journaling every moment, especially right now. I feel like this is such a transformative year for me. It's gonna be amazing to look back. So once I realized that at the very root was self-love, and I started to get help for it, I started to work through those blockages and be like, all right, well, I know that I'm worth it. I know that I'm lovable. I know that I'm worthy of everything that I desire. So then I need to start acting like it. I would love to attract a person who is healthy and loves to travel and is financially secure and shows up for themselves in health and fitness. I would love to be with somebody who has a healthy lifestyle. So then I said, all right, these are the things that I'm lacking. And these are my triggers. I was able to figure out that for me, when I'm super stressed out, when I'm busy, late at night, I just snack. If I know that I have a lot of projects coming up, what really helps me is to meal prep, have my food ready, think about everything that I'm going to eat, plan it out, have it ready to go. So then I don't have to think about like at 8 o'clock at night when I'm coming home late from the salon or from a meeting or working on a project. I'm just going to have all my food planned out. So then it's just kind of second nature. I just reach for that food and it's ready to go. And shout out to my mom. I've been so busy lately. She has been the MVP. She's always the MVP. Everybody knows that. But she's been helping me doing like some of the cooking, well, most of the cooking lately. And I love you. Thank you. But truly, what helps me is that I now understand what are the foods I like, what are the foods that satisfy me, and how to put them together. I actually don't mind macro tracking because it's like balancing your checkbook. I like to think of tracking your food not as restriction, but as a tool. It's just a tool that helps you and it gives you clarity and it helps you understand your body and how your body is reacting. I'm able to tell like, all right, these are the foods that keep me full. I love toast. If you haven't watched my Instagram stories, I really love my morning toast. I have it with a little peanut butter, a little sugar-free jelly. I have it with my coffee. It's literally like so cozy and comforting. I always have 2 pieces of toast. There always has to be some non-negotiables that you can add into your day every single day so that you feel like you're getting food that you actually enjoy. And also it helps that I'm really good at creating really exciting, fun, and easy recipes that are super helpful to stay on my calorie deficit or whatever phase of fitness that I am in. Currently, I am in a calorie deficit and I am about to start a maintenance reverse diet. And let me just tell you, the little girl inside of me that has that toxic relationship with food is screaming and a little scared. I'm not going to lie, because even though, yes, I have healed or healing, I don't know what the proper term is, because I feel like healing your relationship with food doesn't mean that you never binge again. It doesn't mean that you eat everything perfectly and you stick to everything perfectly. It doesn't mean perfection. What it means to me is that I am able to recognize what my triggers are. I'm able to think ahead of time and be mindful about what are some of the things that are going to be setbacks and possibly set me back in my journey of where I want to go. Right now, I am in a fat loss phase, so my food is a little bit more restricted, but it's in a healthy range. I used to do like some crazy like 1,100, 1,200 or 1,000 calories a day, no carbs. That's crazy. I don't do that. Now it's like balanced, closer to like 1,700. That's a calorie deficit for me. And it's a balanced macros, enough fats, protein, carbs. It's well balanced for me. And I have been able to understand what works and what doesn't. So like I was saying, healing your relationship with food to me means that I am self-aware of my triggers. I am able to shift back whenever I have a certain episode of being stressed out, and then all of a sudden here I am and working on a project and it's midnight or it's 1 or it's 2, and then I go to the pantry and I eat like, I don't know, crackers or shit I don't even want to eat. There's been times where like the next day I will tell my mom and I'll be like, oh my God, Mom, I accidentally ate like 5 quesadillas. Obviously it's not accidental, but in like my moments of like stress and anxiety, I can't even taste the food. It's almost like it's not filling. I will eat a super well-balanced meal like broccoli and sweet potato and chicken and feel super satisfied, like the proper ratios. Or I can eat not nutritious food that doesn't have the fiber and the protein and everything else to keep me full, and it feels like I'm literally eating nothing. It's like an empty pit in my stomach. I can keep eating it and nothing will fill me up. And part of that is because when that happens, you're not eating things that are high in fiber or high in protein, but it's also that you're just eating things to make you feel better. And it's not about the taste. It's not about the food. It's about the feeling that you're trying to soothe. You're trying to soothe that anxiety. You're trying to soothe that stress. You're trying to soothe that fear or mask it or make it go away, and it doesn't. So then you just keep eating. It's wild. And if you've ever experienced any type of emotional eating like this, it's draining. I actually tell my sister this all the time. My oldest sister is not an emotional eater. My dad is also not an emotional eater. He's always been thin his whole life, and he can literally eat something and then he'll be like, I'm full, I don't want it. I'm like, what do you mean? Like my sister, my older sister, she literally will eat or serve herself like a big plate sometimes when we're like on vacation or something. And then she'll eat like a third of it. Ugh, she's so annoying, but she's not. But I remember this one story. Ugh, it's so funny. Okay, so when I went to Peru, it was my brother, my older brother, my older sister, her husband, and me, and we were with this tour group, and it was just us 4 and then another couple from Canada. They were French Canadian. And the whole tour was, we started with like 30 miles of bicycle down. It was mostly downhill, so, you know, but still, it was intense. And then the rest of, it was 3 days. So the first 30 miles we rode bikes. And then the rest of the trip, we hiked with our backpack. All of our shit was on our back. And we hiked through the mountains, through cocaine fields. It was wild. Actually, my sister ended up like misstepping and rolling down the hill. Ooh, that was so scary. She got so lucky. But anyways, back to the story. Throughout the hike, we would stop at different like stops and different villages, and we would eat at people's homes that they had set up for the hikers because it's a touristy area. There was a lot of hikers, a lot of tours that would go by. So these families would make money by feeding the people that were hiking around. And I remember being so hungry. I remember thinking like, throughout the trip, like, oh man, I should like pack some snacks. Like, what's the food situation going to be? Like, that used to give me a lot of anxiety, not knowing. And even now when I travel, I will always pack protein shakes and snacks and things that I know will help me keep myself full with high protein options that are healthy, that will allow me to not dip too far down and then go and grab a really unhealthy snack. So that is a little pro tip for you. So anyways, back to the Machu Picchu. We would go from village to village, and in Peru, they have like thousands. I don't know if it's hundreds or thousands of types of potatoes that they grow. And they also eat a lot of rice. And in every meal, they would serve like most of the time they did serve a protein, but there was a lot of vegetables and there was rice and potatoes and things like that. And I remember looking, so in our group, there was only 3 girls. There was 3 boys and 3 girls. And I remember looking at my plate and I was so hungry. Like, I literally wanted to finish everything on my plate because I was starving. And I looked at the other 2 girls. My sister was one of them. And I looked at their plate and they left the rice. And I said to myself, damn it, I have to leave the rice too, because I can't be the fat one. I can't be the one that finishes all her food. And I hated that feeling because they were like, oh, I'm so full. I don't want any more. And in my mind, I was like, I'm hungry. I want to finish my food, but I don't want you guys to think that I'm the fat one because I was the bigger one. Like, I'm always thinking those things. And now I don't care. I don't care if I finish my food. I don't care if I'm on a date and I finish all my food. If I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I know that now I am making the correct choices where I am fueling my body. My body needs food and I'm giving it fuel. It's like your car. Aren't you going to take care of your car? You're going to change the oil. You're going to wash it. You're going to take it to get maintenance. You're going to check the brakes. You're going to do everything that it needs. That's the same thing with your body. Why aren't you going to fuel it? So anyways, that was a little story of my trip and how I handled it. Later on, like, I don't know when I told my sister, I did tell her that story and she's like, you're so dumb. You should have just eaten your rice. I was like, I know, you're right. I don't know why I did that. So anyways, back to the point of what does healing your relationship with food look like? That will look different for everybody because it is a constant thing you have to keep working on. It's a constant decision every single day to make these choices because you're going to get triggered every single day. You're going to have stress. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to have fear. You're going to have all of these things that are going to trigger for you to go and eat the food to soothe whatever is hurting or giving you anxiety. The difference is how you react. The difference is how you show up for yourself. Once you're starting to feel those emotions, what has worked for me is really being mindful and analyzing all of the moments. Whenever I think about self-sabotaging myself and all of the times that I kept trying really hard to lose weight and to see results in the gym and with my fitness, I was thinking like, damn it, as soon as I'm doing good, it was like 1 or 2 months that I would be doing really good and then boom, self-sabotage, and then it would be like downhill and then there would be a binge and then it was just like this cycle where I wasn't holding myself accountable. I wasn't showing up. I wasn't tracking like how I should be tracking. And I was avoiding all of those things I knew I needed to do to stop the self-sabotage. And in my case, it was, okay, you're really great during the day. You track your food, you plan it, you're doing everything. The moments that you're falling off are late at night. So I realized, all right, what do you have to do? you have to think about the moments that you're going to be super busy, and those are the moments you're going to really have to slow down and be mindful. So now what I do is I make sure that these days that I'm super busy, everything is ready to go. And I do not stay downstairs near the kitchen at all past a certain time. If I am upstairs and I've washed my teeth, I've done my face routine, I am in bed or getting close to bedtime, then I am far away from the kitchen and less likely to go and sneak in and start to self-soothe if there's any type of trigger going on. Another thing that helps is slowing down and meditating and making sure that those times that you know you're going to get triggers, like when you're having like a really busy work schedule or a lot of things with your kids or your family or your parents or your grandparents, if you know you're going to have a really crazy time coming up, schedule out the time and be like, all right, out of those 5 days that are going to be really crazy, 2 of those days at night, I'm going to slow down and journal and talk about my feelings and figure out what's going on with me. What am I feeling? Where am I going? How is it going? It's going to be such a game changer for you to actually stop, slow down, and reflect on how you're doing. Because like I said before, the stress is going to be there. The need to want to binge or to self-sabotage or to not go to the gym, that need is going to be there. It's how you choose to react to the triggers that is going to make the big difference. That is where transformation happens. So think about all of the moments that are going to be a little crazy for the next month and journal some of the things that you think you might be feeling. And if it's maybe like anxiety or stress, and then think about what are some of the reactions that you can take or maybe schedule out, whether it's meditating or maybe you go and do a sauna session one of those days, or maybe you do a yoga class to kind of try and regulate your nervous system. Whatever it is, be mindful and plan ahead. I swear, I promise you, that is going to be such a game changer. Even if you schedule out some time to even just check in with your partner or your spouse, or check in with yourself to journal or just chat and be like, hey, we're going to be really busy these 3 weeks. What are some of the things that we can do to help each other? I'm going to be feeling really depleted. I'm going to need help in these different areas. Ask for help. I promise you, your relationships will be so much better once you start asking for help. But also, why don't you ask them, how can I be there for you? How can we be there for each other? That is called co-creation. You guys are co-creating the results, the desired results that are gonna come out of a stressful situation. Instead of going into it being like, oh, we're gonna be yelling and already expecting things to be crazy and chaotic and out of control, you're actually gonna go into it prepared, pre-planning, pre-paving your results. You can't go wrong. I am so excited to be putting together these programs and to be going in this new direction in my coaching journey, in my life journey, in my wellness journey. This is our wellness era. This is exactly how we are going to step into the main character of our own lives. Aren't you guys excited? I'm so excited. And this is just the start. I just wanted to give you a little backstory on why I chose this new direction. I have always been such an advocate, and really the foundation of my brand is building up your self-identity, building up your self-love, your confidence, really showing up for yourself so that you can truly curate the best version of you and curate your dream life. But at the foundation of that, what I learned in my life was that my health and fitness and overall wellness, mindfulness, my spirituality, regulating my nervous system, all of that is what wellness is. So here we are going to find what that means to you, and we're going to curate it so that it fits and it's a perfect plan that works exactly for you, that feels natural, that doesn't feel forced, and that can be a sustainable lifestyle that you can maintain for the rest of your life. How amazing does that sound? I am so excited for you. I am excited to be a part of your journey and to help you guys through this. And we're going to learn so much, because you better believe I am not done learning. I have so many plans. I really would love, and I'm speaking it into the universe, I would love to take a certification class where I learn more about nutrition as far as like a holistic and hormonal balance and all of those things that especially us women need. So stay tuned for that. I think I'll definitely put that on my vision board for 2026. Once I have everything on autopilot and the foundation for the program set up, you better believe I will be incorporating some more education on nutrition and how to better fuel our body. So excited. Thank you so much for listening. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend, tag me on social media. It helps more people find the show and step into their own main character energy. And please remember to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. You will get notifications of when the episodes go live every week. And until next time, keep showing up for yourself. The world needs your story.